title screens. Any game's got them, Fire Emblem has it too. And now it's our duty to look at all of them. This is the top 10 Fire Emblem title screens. Just to set the rules for this list, if there's an opening cinematic before the title screen, it's not gonna count. This is only the title screens for the games. It's gotta have a title, and it's gotta be on a screen. With that out of the way, let's go. I feel the best place to start for this list is where the series began. There's something that's so calming about hearing the Fire Emblem theme in an 8-bit style. To me, the Fire Emblem theme is up there with the classic Nintendo themes we're all familiar with. And this series started just as great as any other. The next one on the list is Binding Blade. This is a traditional version of the theme that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it would seem that Intelligent Systems didn't really know how to work the Game Boy Advance sound chip quite yet. It isn't the most graceful version of the Fire Emblem theme, but it's still pretty good. The orchestra used in this theme for Awakening is just so spot on. It sounds absolutely perfect. The only problem with it is that it lasts for like 10 seconds, which is pretty rough. It would have been amazing for this game to demonstrate the whole theme in the orchestrated glory it could be, but it doesn't. For that, it's only number 8, but it's still number great. At number 7, we have Fire Emblem 7. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn was the first time the Fire Emblem theme was orchestrated for the title theme arrangement. I gotta admit that I'm not too fond of how the song opens, but once it gets to the good part, oh yeah, this is something special. Fire Emblem Thracia 776 is a game that not a lot of people care about, mostly because only 6 people in the world ever bothered to play it. But this was the first time in the series where the composers really expanded upon the original melody of the Fire Emblem series. So there was something in this song that wasn't present in any other game before, so that's cool. The Sacred Stones melody is just the Thracia melody reused for this game, which was actually kinda nice since it wasn't featured in the previous 2 games. Despite the Game Boy Advance not having as good of a sound chip as the Super Nintendo, Intel Sys worked with what they had, and the end result was a song that somehow sounded more full than Thracia. Oh boy, we're bringing it back around now. Shadow Dragon began this list, and Shadow Dragon is also higher on the list. The original Mystery of the Emblem melody was purely classic, but the DS had much more to work with in terms of sound quality, so it's no surprise they made this tune baller as frick. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia has an absolutely beautiful title screen. The logo for this game is shown front and center, but there's so much more happening here. The flowery field gives off an air of serenity, and Almond Celica playing together as children show how much the world has changed since these simple times. The music accompanying this title is simply enchanting. Shadows of Valentia is one of the few Fire Emblem games not to use the main theme on the title screen, and it helps it be distinct. This title screen is a brief showcase that subtly lets the player know this is going to be a much different entry from any other game in this series. A fitting message for Fire Emblem's most unique game.